Greetings from Terra, listeners. Today, we're diving deep into Astartes warfare. We've got some reports from the front lines, and we're going to be looking at how chapters are modifying their war gear after a particularly grueling campaign. It seems that even the Emperor's Angels of Death, they have preferences when it comes to facing down the enemies of man.
Absolutely. You know, it's fascinating. This really reinforces a key principle of Astartes combat doctrine, the Codex Astarte, right? It provides that foundation, but true mastery. That lies in the ability to adapt, to find that perfect synergy between tactics, technology, and individual skill. It's the Astartes themselves who elevate warfare to an art form.
You're absolutely right. And you know these reports that we're looking at, they were compiled in the aftermath of the fierce fighting on the world-designated Operation Iron Gauntlet. And they offer some really unique insights into how various chapters and specialists are tailoring their war gear. For maximum effectiveness, let's start with the tactical Astartes. Now, I have to admit something. I was surprised to see the continued reliance on the grenade launcher, even after those modifications that affected its ammunition replenishment.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It speaks to the heart of the tactical Marine's role, adaptability and versatility. While the changes may have reduced the sustained firepower of the launcher, as skilled Astartes, they can still make each shot count, precision over volume. And there's even mention of Astartes sharing ammunition within their squads just to mitigate the impact of the modifications.
A testament to their brotherhood and tactical awareness for sure. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, we have the Stalker bolt rifle, which has undergone some pretty significant modifications to improve its ammunition efficiency.
The reloaded restoration modification in particular, that one has been, well, quite transformative, really. It's elevated a previously specialized weapon into, well, a reliable tool for sustained engagements. In certain situations, it might even surpass the plasma incinerator in terms of consistent damage output.
Intriguing. Let's shift our focus now to the Assault Astartes. And of course, we can't talk about them without addressing the eternal debate, right? Balanced Thunderhammer versus the block variant.
It is a fascinating debate. The trade-offs are, well, they're fascinating to consider. Block focuses solely on maximizing raw damage output, while Balanced provides superior crowd control and synergizes more effectively with the Astartes' other abilities. Close quarters combat is, well, it's a complex dance. Brute force isn't always the deciding factor.
Speaking of complexity, there's a trend emerging where Assault Astartes are emphasizing the power of stunning foes through well-timed parries.
Absolutely. This tactic speaks to a shift towards disruption and control. Even without a follow-up attack, a stunned enemy, it disrupts formations and creates vulnerabilities for the Astartes and their squad to exploit. A subtle tactical shift, but one that can have significant repercussions on the battlefield.
Next, we have the Vanguard Astartes. They're facing some challenges maintaining combat effectiveness after modifications to their signature Adrenaline Rush ability.
It seems reports suggest a shift in their approach. So rather than relying solely on relentless aggression, they're now prioritizing damage mitigation and strategic use of equipment. A more calculated, tactical approach that demonstrates their ability to adapt, even when their core capabilities are altered.
Moving on to the Bulwark Astartes. I couldn't help but notice the significant reduction in the armor replenishing capabilities of their gun strikes. A tough blow for sure.
Indeed, the reports indicate they're compensating by maximizing the use of their armored advanceability. This allows them to maintain a strong frontline presence, drawing enemy fire, protecting their squad mates. It reinforces their role as the unyielding shield, even with adjustments to their offensive support capabilities.
Now for some positive news. Let's turn our attention to the Sniper Astartes. Recent improvements to their weaponry, including the Stalker bolt rifle, have opened up some exciting tactical possibilities.
This has led to a resurgence of a previously uncommon build, the carbine melee assassin. So the Astartes combines precision-ranged attacks with lightning-fast melee strikes, emphasizing versatility, adaptability, quite a deadly combination.
And finally, we come to the Heavy Weapons Astartes. The reports highlight a combination of enhancements and modifications that transform them into a near-removable force, capable of withstanding the most determined enemy assaults.
It's crucial to recognize the synergy between their equipment and their squad's composition. A properly supported heavy weapons Astartes becomes a linchpin, bolstering their allies with suppressive fire while delivering devastating firepower of their own. A true force multiplier. Exactly. It really does underscore the fact that even within the structured ranks of the Adeptus Astartes, there's room for individual expression and adaptation. Each Astartes is a weapon forged for the Emperor's will, but it's their experiences and their choices that truly define them as instruments of war.
Yeah, it really highlights the depth of their tactical thinking. It's like seeing how the Astartes are adapting their existing war gear. It really makes me think about all those rumors circulating within the armories of the Mechanicus. Whispers of an entirely new class of Astartes emerging.
Ah, yes. The rumors surrounding a potential Terminator class. It's a fascinating prospect, isn't it? Considering the sheer might and resilience that we associate with Terminator armor.
Well, and what really has the forges buzzing is all the speculation about a Terminator configuration wielding both an assault cannon and a power fist. Imagine the destructive potential.
A potent combination, there's no doubt about that. But it does beg the question, what role would such a class fill on the battlefield? How would it distinguish itself from the heavy weapons of starts without simply overshadowing them?
That's a crucial point. The heavy weapons of Stars already excel at delivering sustained firepower and angering defensive lines. To be truly effective, this hypothetical Terminator class, it would need a unique purpose, a distinct tactical niche.
Indeed. Some within the Mechanicus theorize about limiting their mobility or maybe incorporating specific vulnerabilities just to balance their formidable offensive capabilities. Others propose a focus on close quarters devastation. They envision them as an unstoppable shock force, shattering enemy lines with just overwhelming force.
Now that's a vision. Perhaps Terminator armor could manifest as a temporary augmentation, like a blessing from the machine god bestowed upon an Astarte in a moment of dire need, empowering them to overcome, well, insurmountable odds.
Perhaps, or it could herald a fundamental shift in Astarte's deployments, ushering in a new era of heavy infantry tactics, changing the very face of war as we know it.
Speaking of shifts, there's been a surge of interest in incorporating elements of firstborn armor amongst Primaris Marines.
Ah, yes. The availability of the Mark-Yape errant helmet has sparked, well, considerable debate, let's say. For some, it's a purely aesthetic choice, a way to personalize their appearance, maybe a nod to the traditions of their chapter. But for others, it holds, well, a deeper significance, a symbolic connection to the lineage and legacy of the firstborn, a tangible link to the past glories of their chapter.
It's interesting, though, the method of acquiring this venerated piece of war gear, it has generated some controversy. Tying it to specific events and requiring interaction with various factions and Forge worlds, it's raised some concerns about accessibility and fairness.
It does highlight the complexities of equipping and supplying the Astartes chapters that are, well, spread across the vast expanse of the Imperium. Balancing the needs of individual chapters with the logistical realities of production and distribution it's a delicate task. It's one that is fraught with challenges.
Indeed, it would be intriguing to observe how this situation influences future decisions regarding the customization and distribution of war gear amongst the Adeptus Astartes. But for now, let's get back to the heart of this deep dive. Those fascinating after-action reports from Operation Iron Gauntlet. There are some truly insightful observations buried within those reports.
Oh, absolutely. Tactical nuances and adaptations that could prove invaluable for any commander seeking to refine their strategies and gain an edge against the enemies of man.
For example, the tactical Astartes are reporting
And for
significant
Super Earth.
success with Kraken penetrator rounds in dispersing dense hordes.
A logical adaptation given the recent changes to the grenade launcher. It seems the Tech Marines have found an effective way to maximize the tactical Astartes horde clearing capabilities.
Yeah, this really underscores a key theme emerging from these reports: adaptability. It's all about tailoring your loadout and tactics to overcome the specific challenges that you face on the battlefield. Take the assault Astartes. They're finding innovative ways to leverage the consecutive execution protocols.
Indeed. Reports mention a surge in melt-a-bomb usage, a risky but potentially devastating tactic.
Oh, absolutely. A well-placed melt-a-bomb can cripple a heavily armored foe or obliterate a cluster of lesser enemies. It's a high-risk, high-reward maneuver. And the Vanguard Astartes, they're demonstrating remarkable proficiency with the shockwave combat doctrine.
Yes, since those recent refinements to its damage scaling, it's become a potent tool for disrupting enemy formations and controlling the flow of battle.
They're even combining it with the tip of the spear protocols just to amplify their squad mates' damage output. Truly a force multiplier.
It exemplifies the collaborative nature of Astartes warfare. Individual prowess is formidable, but when Astartes fight as a cohesive unit, coordinating their actions, supporting each other, they become an unstoppable force.
And speaking of unstoppable, we can't overlook the bulwark Astartes. Even after the reduction in their armor replenishing capabilities, they remain steadfast on the front lines.
They're maximizing the use of their armored advance capability to maintain a constant presence at the forefront of battle, shielding their brethren and absorbing the brunt of enemy attacks, a true embodiment of their name.
And the sniper Astartes, despite the inherent dangers of their role, they continue to prove their worth. Those recent improvements to their weaponry have made them even more formidable, especially that carbine melee assassin build you mentioned earlier. Talk about a multifaceted warrior.
Indeed, a seamless blend of precision-ranged attacks followed by those lightning-fast melee strengths, a testament to their adaptability and the ability to exploit any weakness in the enemy's defenses.
And finally, we come to the heavy weapons Astartes. With the right combination of blessings from the machine god and modifications from skilled tech marines, they become an unyielding bulwark, capable of weathering the fiercest attacks and delivering devastating counteroffensives.
But their effectiveness hinges on a crucial factor: support. The composition of their squad is paramount. The right mix of Astartes fighting alongside them can transform a heavy weapons Astartes into a true linchpin, bolstering the entire unit and dictating the flow of battle.
After examining all these reports, you can't help but be awestruck by the sheer diversity and adaptability of the Adeptus Astartes. Even amidst the chaos and bloodshed of the 41st millennium, they continue to refine their tactics, their equipment, and their very approach to warfare.
It serves as a potent reminder. Even the Emperor's finest, they never cease to learn and adapt. They're constantly seeking ways to improve their skills, their war gear, and their understanding of the enemy. This unwavering pursuit of excellence is what allows them to stand against the darkness that threatens to engulf the galaxy.
Absolutely. There's no single correct way to wage war in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. It's about flexibility, about experimentation, about finding the tactics and equipment that best suit the ever-changing conditions of the battlefield. And that brings us to a pivotal question. What does the future hold for the Adeptus Astartes?
Well, I mean, what new threats will emerge, from the warp or the cold void of space? How will the Astartes adapt to counter these unknown dangers? Will we see further advancements in power armor technology, granting them even greater resilience and strength?
Or maybe the forges of the Mechanicus will birth entirely new weapon systems, crafted to exploit weaknesses in emerging Xenos threats or to counter the insidious tactics of chaos.
And what of these whispers of a Terminator class? Will they become a reality, a new breed of warrior unleashed upon the battlefield? And if so, how will their presence reshape the very nature of Astartes warfare?
These are questions that even the most learned tech priests and seasoned chapter masters, they can only speculate upon. The future is shrouded in the midst of war, ever-changing, unpredictable. But one thing remains certain. The Adeptus Astartes will stand ready.
They will continue to adapt, to innovate, to hone their skills and their war gear, ensuring they remain the Emperor's most potent weapons, a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. The fate of the Imperium rests upon their indomitable spirit and unwavering dedication to victory.
It's true. From the forges of Terra to the battlefields across the galaxy, the saga of the Adeptus Astartes continues. Their courage inspires us, their tenacity strengthens us, and their unwavering loyalty to the Emperor, it reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope endures.
May the Emperor guide them, and may their bolters never fall silent.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of Astartes warfare. Until next time, listeners, may the Emperor's light shine upon you.